Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning into a special edition of Steel City Sports World. I'm your host, Luther Dupree. Glad to have Magic Mike back on the show with us. It's been a long time. Thanks for coming through. We got also Smoker Jim as always, and Claudio had another event, but he's going to be back with us. We have two special guests we'll get to in a minute, but we want to start off with our Steel City news. Mike, what you got to do? I need to put a disclaimer. You've been gone a couple of months.
I don't think so.
Okay, I hope not. So on you, Mike.
Right now, if you look at the standings, it looks like the Pittsburgh Penguins are not doing very well. But they're still the team that won 2 Stanley Cups in a row, just 3 and 2 years ago. So take a good look at them. A couple of moves need to be made. Probably need to bring in a veteran goaltender. But don't be surprised when they turn this around and they make the playoffs. And once you make the playoffs, anything can happen.
Okay, all right, I like that.
Just made a good trade, got Pedersen.
Yeah. You think that was a great trade? All right. Smoker Jim, it's all, before we say that, the words you're about to hear reflect Smoker Jim's thinking. They don't reflect my thinking, Mike, or anybody else you're going to hear. Smoker Jim stands alone. These are his words. Don't blame me for what comes out of his mouth. Smoker Jim, it's all yours.
Hey, thanks, Luke. Problem with Pittsburgh is the Pittsburgh Steelers is a mediocre football team. The Pittsburgh Steelers tied Cleveland. They lost to Kansas City, Baltimore, Denver, and San Diego. They should have lost to Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. You know, like in the words of Magic Mike, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be one and done at 9-7-1. The Pittsburgh Steelers is a mediocre football team with a Hall of Fame quarterback, Big Ben, who was drafted by Bill Cowher. The Pittsburgh Steelers is a mediocre football team with a Hall of Fame wide receiver, Antonio Brown, who was drafted by me. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a mediocre defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers special teams is mediocre. The Pittsburgh Steelers coaching staff is mediocre. Listen, I'm not here to hate. I'm just shooting straight. The Pittsburgh Steelers don't want to be great. They just want to be 8-8.
And 1? I don't know. Maybe 8.
They got that one.
8-7-1. They can't be 8-8. But I know you're right. Smoker Jim, you're not going to claim the other draft picks, the other sorry picks that they've got? But you'll claim Antonio. I'll give you that. You were the first person I heard that said he's going to replace Antonio. Much props to that. As we get into that, Hall of Fame quarterback, true, but is he playing like one right now? Right now, you talk about turnovers. The only guys who have more interceptions than Big Ben is a rookie, Sam Darnold for the Jets. Is that Hall of Fame quarterback play to you, Smoking Jim? I'm asking. Are we looking at Eli Manning 7.0 right now? Is that what's happening with Big Ben?
Terry Bradshaw, 212 touchdowns, 210 interceptions. Yeah, Hall of Fame.
I'm saying, but towards it, that's Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is he playing like one now?
Yes.
Every game you can count on an interception or a turnover.
462 yards in one game?
Yeah, but he missed wide open touchdown passes. He's turned. What I don't like, Big Ben, when you make a mistake, you can't keep throwing these guys under the bus. Rookies. What he said to Washington was uncalled for. He's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. You're a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're calling out rookies. He throws the interception. He blames corner. He blames Antonio Brown for running a terrible route. That's Big Ben's interception. He has to step the game up. Most of these losses, it's when Big Ben turns the ball over. Other than that, the defense, like you said, is mediocre. But the first half, they should have put up about 40 points, and the only reason they didn't is Big Ben. Guys were wide open. They were in the red zone. He has another red zone interception at a key moment. This is becoming apparent. This is 2 games in a row, Smoking Jim. What's your situation? You're not giving them any blame for this.
Well, when you got to carry a mediocre team, what can you do? You got to take chances.
Antonio Brown's mediocre?
No, Antonio
Brown's
Brown's
offensive line mediocre? Is the offensive line mediocre?
The offense is good. The special teams is the worst.
They
in
scored
the league,
7 points in the whole second half. How many points they scored in the second half,
The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't drafted an all-pro cornerback since 1987.
How many teams have?
Every year a team got one. Every year a team got one. They pick them all the time in the Pro Bowl.
Well, you see, they keep letting you pick the Artie Burns. That's the problem, right?
I told you he was raw coming out of Miami.
He was raw, but
65% of the
he's
snaps.
raw. I think he's burnt. I think he's done right now.
Well, he
he's on
don't
the
realize
bench.
he's offsides when he's 5 yards offsides, and then can't even block the kick at that. So
Another thing about that, there were some horrible referees. There was
there
false
you go.
starts. It's a fact. Was it a false start on that first
there
touchdown?
you go. They all even.
Was it a
Thumbs
push in
up.
the back on the punt return?
That was good.
That was what?
You let the slowest black man ever seen in my life run 80 yards for a touchdown, bro. Now,
Yeah,
that
but a
brother
push-
was slow, wasn't he?
All I know is Marcus Allen got pushed in the back. The long snapper snapped the ball and pulled a hamstring and was down the whole play. I mean, everything went wrong.
How's your $5 million kicker doing this year?
Well,
Lucy, you know what the deal is, okay? Man can't stand to not have his name in the paper. Okay? So he's playing like garbage now, but he hasn't been sacked, so he has to blame it on somebody else. As soon as he gets sacked, he'll be playing hurt. For the rest of the year, it'll be a nagging injury for the rest of the year. All right. And Rapisberger, he's playing exactly like a Hall of Fame quarterback. Y.A. Tittle, he's
Taking
dead.
it back there.
oh man, Mike is.
Big
We
Ben's
got to put a
definitely a
disclaimer
Hall
out
of
for
Fame
Mike.
quarterback. He's
We got to
definitely a
put
Hall
a
of Fame
disclaimer out
quarterback.
for Mike. But Roethlisberger's not playing at the level he should be. I blame
He's
a lot
not
of this
playing
on
at
him.
the level he should, but he's.
But I just don't like how he's throwing teammates under the bus. That's uncalled for.
Do you know the Pittsburgh Steelers' run game is ranked 29th in the league? I'm just for
Well,
you guys that
you
didn't
can't
want
get yards
Le'Veon Bell.
if Ben is throwing 50 times a game
Huh?
or 45 times a game. If you're only giving the ball to corner
Brittle,
8, 9,
you mean
10,
the Brittle
11
brother?
times.
The Brittle brother?
Hey, the guy fell on his ankle. I mean, what do you want? Anybody
Concussion-
would be hurt.
Is he still in concussion protocol?
The
Follow
guy
you?
fell on his ankle. It's an ankle injury.
You need
it
two
happens.
backs. You need two backs.
You need two backs, and they didn't bring Bell. They didn't do what they needed to do. They didn't trade him. They didn't draft.
They should have
We'll see.
believed
We'll see what the rookie does. It's all on the rookie.
Yeah, the boy's bad. The boy can play.
He likes Samuels.
But I like Bell's rap album. 16 songs on there. All of them speaking the truth. Spit the truth.
Stick to the day job. No future in that. And I'm wondering if he's going to get that contract.
Huh?
I'm wondering if he's going to get that big contract that he's holding out for. I don't know.
Only takes one team.
The Jets
It
will
only
probably
takes
pay
one
him.
team, but the NFL could also collude because do they want more players doing what Bell just did? I don't know. We'll see. What do you
I don't
think,
think
Mark?
they'll be-
You guys talk too much at the barber
I'm
shop.
just saying.
Come on,
I'm just
man.
saying. It only takes one
Come
team.
on, man.
It only takes one team, but there's a couple guys still trying to get in the league.
You don't think the Jets will? I predict the Jets will pay him.
I'm thinking
Indianapolis
it's the
Colts.
Colts. That's what I was going to say.
How about the Kansas City Chiefs? Would
They
you
just
take
lost
Hunt?
a back,
Would you
didn't
take
they?
Hunt in Pittsburgh? I don't think he'll hit a woman again. Do you? I think he learned his lesson. He just got to quit. TMZ got to quit running every fight he had every day, man. Oh, yeah.
TMZ will find the tape in a minute. They'll find the tape in the
NFL
elevator.
couldn't get it.
And
NFL
couldn't get it, but TMZ can. I guess, I don't know. Who
TMZ
has more money, the
finds
NFL or TMZ? Hey, but let's go back. Let's get on some other talk. Again, number to call, 412-231-2288. We do have some special guests in the house. I'm going to start first. Jim, why don't you introduce the first guest that you brought with us?
How in the world did we get her here? I tell you what, man, this young lady has more potential than anybody I've ever seen. We're going to do a show the day after Christmas right here on these airways. I tell you what, she is putting together a fashion show in concert to raise money for Family Links. Please put your hands together for Princess Nokomis.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little more about this fashion show that you're trying to do.
So I want to take some models that are known in Pittsburgh, some local artists in Pittsburgh as well, and do a benefit concert / fashion show.
Okay.
And I feel like we can do the fashion show and then have the music playing from the local artists that we do have out here.
I know Jim will be there,
Bring
front row seat.
Bringing Chicago
I'll be
to
right beside
Pittsburgh, man.
All right, so now you're from Chicago. Now, talk about your experience in Chicago. What brought you from Chicago to here, to Pittsburgh?
My mother lives my mother's from Larmer.
Okay.
So I came from the north side of Chicago to the Pittsburgh area. like my 9th grade year in high
Okay.
school. I've been in Pittsburgh for about like 7
Look
years.
how good you look on TV.
Thank you.
Okay. And just what some of the differences between Chicago and Pittsburgh? I know it catches a bad rap on.
I like to
on
ride the
national
L when
news.
I'm in Chicago. I like to ride the L.
Yeah, the L gets you everywhere you need to go fast. I would say Chicago has a bad reputation, but I feel like it's also certain sides of Chicago. It depends on where you're at. Like I keep saying, I'm from the north side of Chicago.
Okay.
So
Which
that's-
is the bad side that we all hear about? What's that?
South side, the west side.
South side and west side.
Cicero.
Yeah,
But the north is okay, and the east is
yeah,
okay.
it's all right. It's
Okay.
mostly like the Hispanic community. A lot less violence, but there is violence. Like growing up, one of your friends can get jumped right in front of your face, or you
How
could
far
see,
from Wrigley Field were you?
I don't know.
Far enough.
About 25 minutes
25
from
minutes?
downtown.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Princess. We're going to come back and make sure you check out that fashion show. You got to come tell us more about it.
Definitely, I will.
Okay. And also, we have an author with us, Mark Whitted. He's written a great book, and we're definitely excited about what's in store. Mark, just tell the viewing audience a little bit about what you're doing and some of the things that you've done.
Well, first of all, it's not quite out yet.
Oh, it's not quite out.
I'm not done yet. I'm still actually doing some research. And,
Okay.
I'm just about pretty much done interviewing, but I've
Okay.
done some research. But it's Pittsburgh's Forgotten Champs. It's about the 1967-68 Pittsburgh Pipers. They won the very first ABA championship. The ABA existed for 9 years, just to go back in time. I know that was before anybody here, except me, of course. No, I guess maybe you too. Sorry.
Jim.
But anyway, yeah, the league existed for 9 years, and if people say, "Oh, it was the only ABA," well, just the first thing you need to know about the ABA compared to the NBA, when they played the first NBA All-Star game after the merger in 1977, 10 of the 24 players that played in that game were ABA guys,
Wow.
including
Okay.
Dr. J, who played in the ABA for 5 years. So really, you don't need to really know anymore. You've probably heard of other leagues called ABA,
Right,
but
right.
they were minor leagues.
Minor
But
leagues.
this was, you got to remember, back then there was only 9 NBA teams when they
Before
thought
the
about
merger, right.
forming
Luce,
the
you
ABA.
said this is the book you're excited about?
No, I love the ABA. Remember, we used to cover it when they started the ABA back here. You remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
Part of the reason we ran Roy Jones.
And actually, I had set out a long time ago to write a different book, but in doing the research for that, which was the Pipers were going to be a chapter.
Okay.
But once I devoted some time to reading the newspaper articles from the day, there's a couple of books that talk about them, but there's never been a book written about them.
Okay.
So once I got into to what actually happened, it was such an interesting and compelling story that nobody's ever written a book about.
That's true.
The other things I was looking at were Steeler, Pirates, Penguins related, and there's
There's a
tons of
million
books out
books.
there, of course.
Yeah.
And even Jim O'Brien's never written a book about the Pipers, although he's written newspaper articles and he's written a lot about them, and he actually worked for them briefly. And I've actually come to know Jim because of the people that Bill Gray, Sam Shulo, Ray Goss have sort of introduced me to, and even, Smoking Jim's, I've been around you guys now for a year now.
Yes, sir.
So it's quite an interesting, compelling story. Nobody's ever told it before. I've interviewed every single player that's still alive from that team. In fact, I mean in person, I flew out to Oregon. I spent 2017, even while I was working at the Pentagon at the time, I spent 2017 flying around the country to Oregon, New Mexico, Mississippi, Florida, drove to Michigan, drove to North Carolina, interviewed them all, which sort of led to one thing and another. I learned two things. I've never written a book before, but what I learned was I'm pretty good at interviewing, and I knew I was a good researcher, and Jim O'Brien told me that even. So the publisher actually wanted me to be done by the end of September, but both my parents passed away this year, and I got a little behind with that. And but it gave me some time to pause and realize I need to do some research and some interviewing to make me feel better that I covered every single angle.
Right, right.
And so-
We're gonna come right back to that.
All right.
You got the phone lines. You and Prentice got them blowing up. We have a couple calls. Caller, say your name where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is LD.
What's on your mind, LD?
Comments. I have got a question for the panel. What do you guys think about Artie Burns playing cornerback for the Steelers?
Well, you know, LD, on draft day, I was the one guy that said that Artie Burns was raw. Artie Burns he was a track star trying to play football. He came out after his junior year. He only played 65% of the snaps at University of Miami, and they had a rotation system. So I knew that going to practice every day, getting burnt by Antonio Brown wasn't helping his game at all.
I thought when they drafted him, it was a reach. I looked at all the top cornerbacks this year and that year, and he was nowhere on the top 15, 20. You know, he wasn't there. Like you said, he was a track star. And a lot of the times when you see him play, he gets lost out there. He's not in the right position. Just a wasted pick. And the fact that he's on the bench already, and when you see him come in a game, you already know where the other team is going. It's just really been disappointing. He does have talent, but he just doesn't have the experience.
He'll be with Jarvis Jones and all the other busts that they made.
That you
Go ahead, Mike.
suggested.
I think Artie Burns has as much business playing cornerback for the Steelers as I do playing center for Golden State.
Well, you're the tallest in your family, so you play center.
I think he has potential to be a good special teams player.
Wow. I don't know, LD, what do you think?
Yeah, you know, when he came into the Charger game, they were going for a 2-point conversion. The guy was wide open.
Yeah, just lost again. It hasn't clicked for him.
Yeah. Just a comment about Big Ben. If he can just throw the ball to our receivers and hit the open receivers, I think we have a chance to win every game.
Hey, LD, that's a great comment that you made. I don't want to hold up the panel, but I said before the season that the Pittsburgh Steelers will miss Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant, who had 26 catches, 8 touchdowns, and averaged 23 yards a catch as a rookie, he would have had to slow down for some of those passes these guys are diving for. Big Ben had chemistry with Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, but you can't.
You need that third
in that
receiver.
Charger game, there was one receiver, he was wide open.
You got to hit
No
these
one
wide
was
open
even
guys.
around.
Justin Hunter, yes. Yeah.
Well,
The pass was
Sometimes
so
you're going to
bad.
throw a bad pass.
Well, Justin Hunter's been a brittle brother his whole life. I mean, how you dive for a pass and you out for the year?
That's
man?
how bad the pass
Oh,
was.
my
Wide
goodness.
open. He had to dive and tore up his whole shoulder.
Yeah, okay.
Ben has to step it up. He's a better
That's why
quarterback.
Tennessee let him
Stop
go.
worrying about throwing players underneath the bus on your radio show and throw it to the right team. Stop turning the ball over. There's no reason he should have 13 picks.
53,000 yards and you're complaining?
You throwing 80 times a game. I mean, come on.
353
Listen,
touchdown
out of a Hall of
passes?
Fame quarterback, you expect more. You expect more out of the Tom Brady's, the Drew Brees. And when they don't play well, their team
3
gets
Super
destroyed.
Bowls?
Aaron Rodgers is not playing well. Look at his team.
Well, Aaron Rodgers, that's
They
that's-
had to
that's you
fire
guys
the
love
coach.
him.
When you're not
love him.
Hall of Fame quarterbacks are held to a different standard, and that's where Ben is. He's not performing.
You
at
can
that
have
level.
discount double choke. That's your guy.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a bad boy.
Big Ben's a different kind of quarterback. Brady and Drew Brees, I think they're more careful kind of quarterback, especially
Exactly.
Brady.
That's-
yeah, but they're not going to
He's-
get the
he's-
plays that Big Ben gets
Thank
a
you.
lot of times.
Thank
that are
you.
home
And,
runs
but
and
listen,
And,
he has that gunslinger mentality.
Yes,
that
he
Brett
does.
Favre.
And
And
you-
we remember
You
Exactly.
won't listen to me. Maybe you'll listen to the
what do you
white
know-
man.
What do you always got to bring something into that, right?
By the way, Big Ben went to my school, Miami University.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Ohio.
no wonder he's protecting him so good. Listen, I've always been a supporter of Big Ben, but he has to stop that gunslinger mentality because we don't have the defense right now when you give a team extra possessions to hold them up. Make the
That's
plays
Ben's
that are there.
fault?
Yes. If you know the defense has some issues, you can't give the other team a short field. A lot of times he tries to force it into AB when there's triple coverage and the plays aren't there. Sometimes you got to drop it down to a corner or Samuels when it's there. He doesn't do that enough. That's my only complaint. He's always going for the big play now.
I don't know. He threw a lot of short
Corner's
passes
got over
over the middle
Corner's
this
got over
last
50
game.
passes.
Listen.
Sorry
there's
about
a lot,
that, LD.
There's
They're
a lot,
hogging it.
there-
They're
there's
hogging
a,
it.
There's a lot more that he should be doing. There's
Don't we wanna hear from
no
LD?
reason he should have 13 picks already. That's disappointing.
LD, the real deal is the quarterback is getting old, and that happens to everybody.
5
So
more
he'll be on-
years.
Yeah, 5
5
more
more
years.
years.
He'll be a bum for 4 of them.
We don't need an Eli Manning
5 more
7.0. LD, you want to add something else?
All I want to say, if you look at a pro football game, if you don't turn the ball over, you're probably going to win the game.
That gunslinger mentality, man, that's a losing effort at times. I mean,
Hey,
you got to
LD.
be careful with the ball.
LD, what do you think of Princess?
I think of what?
What do you think of Princess? You must not be watching on TV.
Yeah, I think the lady sitting beside you.
Yeah, that's Princess.
Yeah, she's a nice looking person for a panel like you have.
Well said.
I'm glad she's on there.
She increases our ratings.
That's it. I'm throwing my LD hat away.
Yeah, Mike's the only one of that. Well, Mike, you got to get your hat back, man. I got a beanie on like Smoking Jim today.
Okay, can you guys tell me who's going to start at running back for the Steelers?
Jalen Samuels.
Samuel.
Yeah, Samuels.
But being that the Pittsburgh Steelers took a 4th round safety in the 1st round, they're going to also play his brother. Because, like I said before, Coach Tomlin, I think, was dating Edmonds' mom back in the day.
Oh,
They both
here
from
you go with
Virginia.
this crap.
That could very
Hey,
well
LD,
be.
Edmonds was only at the draft day because his younger brother was a top 10 pick. He was in the bathroom when the Steelers took him. He come out with toilet tissue on his shoes. Shocked.
I would say, LD, if you're not doing anything Sunday, you might tell Tomlin you'd be available to be his guy to watch and see if they need to throw a
0 for 9 on the
for
red
9.
flag.
Yeah,
0 for
yeah,
9
yeah.
on the red flag.
Yep.
So.
That Samuels, he looked pretty fast when he scored that touchdown.
Man, he can do it all. LD, he's the closest thing to Roger Craig I've seen in a long time.
Oh, okay.
I
All
hope
right.
you're right.
Yeah.
Let's
He
hope
can
you're
do it
right.
all. He can do it all.
Okay, we'll see. So we're not going to miss a beat if
And
Carter
he
can't
ain't
go for
brittle
one.
like the other guy.
Yeah, I just got 2 comments to make. You know, Josh Harrison, they think he's going to be gone from the Pirates.
He will.
I'll hate to see him go.
He's,
He was a guy that always hustled. I enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, he ain't
I
helped
agree.
attendance.
Well, listen,
didn't
man.
help
it was, it was a
Listen,
hustler.
the Pirates finally had some winning seasons. All those guys that helped get those winning seasons are gone.
Chisenhall's going to be a help. They got him a pretty good price. I think he'll actually help them.
Right.
Yeah, well, they added
And-
Chisenhall.
Yeah.
Today, the Cardinals added Goldsmith from Arizona.
What?
Big difference.
Okay, there's
Some
a-
teams try to get better.
Yeah, some teams would have stayed.
That's a very good
mediocrity.
point.
And he's one of the best players in the league.
Right, right.
Yes, he is.
So,
And just one question before I go. Who's Gateway playing in the championship this year?
hey, LD, real quick. Did you see the fight, the big heavyweight fight, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think?
I think that referee should never referee another fight. He took about 10 minutes to count the guy out.
Yeah,
I could have got up from that knockdown.
yeah. That
But it was a good fight.
It
But
was
the
a good fight.
referee, I'm telling you, he gave that Fury a break.
Yeah, I'm going to show a breakdown in a few minutes about that. It was a solid fight. Tyson Fury presented himself a lot better than I thought. I thought he'd get knocked out and stretched in about 8 rounds, but he did good. But he did get knocked down twice, and I thought the second one he was down for over 10 seconds. But I'm looking forward to the rematch. One thing we know for sure, Anthony Joshua couldn't beat either one of these two.
Anthony Joshua will go down as the greatest heavyweight
The
of all
greatest
time.
ducker in history. Who has he fought? The top 3 heavyweights in the world, he's refused to fight him. He paid Luis Ortiz money not to fight him. Tyson Fury in the UK, he refused to fight him. Deontay Wilder, it's been a whole year, ducked him still. So, hey, LD, I thank you for the call. We got to get a couple more calls.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the call.
Say easy, LD.
Hey, let's stay on the phone lines. Call us, say your name, where you're calling from.
What's up? This is Big E from Pittsburgh. What's going on?
What's up, Big E?
Big E.
So, I mean, look at these Steelers. Do they have skill or is it luck? I mean, what do you think, Smoke and Jim? Is this just luck or is this skill? I mean, what are they going to do? 4 games left. Do they miss the playoffs? Do they make the playoffs?
No,
Break
they'll
it
go.
down.
They'll go 2-2. They'll beat Cincinnati and they'll beat
Raiders.
the Brooklyn Raiders, and then they'll get beat by New England, and New Orleans will beat the brakes off of them. This is an average team, which the Pittsburgh fans, most of them take a better headbutt than the Pittsburgh Steelers do. You punch them in the mouth, and these guys fold like a card table.
They'll be, I could see they'll win about 9 games, possibly 10. Like I said, I definitely like the Raiders.
If
and
they
the
don't, they'll
Bengals.
be choking pregnant women again.
Well, if they win 10, that means they beat either New England or New
The
Orleans.
fans.
That was terrible.
fans.
Fans fighting. I don't know. What do you think,
I mean-
Big E?
I got them. Obviously, the Raiders, I think they'll get that one done. I do think that's still going to be a close game because they're going to underestimate them like they always do. And, hey, we all saw Terrell Pryor run a touchdown back on the Steelers when he was for the Raiders there. So that's definitely a possibility right there.
Hey,
And,
Big
you know,
E,
Patriots-
Big E, before you go, you're a genius because I've been saying all along the Steelers need a third wide receiver that's big, fast, and runs a 4.2. That's Terrell Pryor all day. He's available. Bring him home.
Well,
Bring
you
him
know,
home.
and
You just
you know,
want to
the
make
big thing is
yourself right,
everybody's
Jim.
like,
You
oh,
said he was
you
going to win 2
can't
Heismans when he
tell.
left Jeanette, and well, that didn't work out just that way. But I do like that move. I could see him being a nice third receiver.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. You know, with Bell, you hate to pay him, but if you look at the Steelers when they got, what is it, Michael Vick back in the day, and I mean, look at that. They can invest in him if they want to. I think they need to stop watching the Pirates too much and letting all their good players go and invest in him, I think he's been taking one out of, Neil Huntington right there, and I don't know if he's been hanging around him too much, but obviously, look, you lose your main guy, who's your backup? They never had a backup. When they had Bell and Blunt, I mean, look at Bell and look at Blunt. He's still scoring touchdowns on other teams.
That's
Look at that. He's just a
Blunt was
You
too
have the
busy
perfect
smoking
crew right there,
blunts while he
but-
was here. He wasn't playing.
Everybody smokes in the
But-
NFL
Yeah,
What we
but
have
him
is-
and Bell got caught.
because they were driving while black.
You know it, and that's definitely true. They still were smoking in a car going 90.
You need that coach. You need that coach that's going to bring out the best in the players. And I mean, Tomlin, does he bring out the best in his players? His record seems differently. That's all I got to say.
His record speaks of a Hall of Fame pace.
Coach
right
Tomlin
now.
is one of the greatest regular season coaches of all time.
His
You
record
said
is-
it right there. You said it exactly. Regular
Listen,
season.
most guys. Okay, people
He's
say that, but
terrible
most
in the
guys,
playoffs.
Who you calling you people?
most guys don't win. Bill Belichick has owned the whole AFC for years now, for 15 years.
And he helped them.
Nobody.
Tomlin helped them.
And so has
Tomlin
other
helped
teams,
Belichick.
and Denver, and other teams. It
And-
wasn't just
and
Tomlin.
here's
I'm pretty sure that Tomlin won a Super Bowl.
he did, yeah.
I'm sure he's
He
going
did.
to another one.
And he blew about 2 or 3 more.
There's no
Yes, he
blowing.
did.
There's
my
no
opinion.
blowing Super Bowls. You either get there or you
Yeah, he
don't.
won that Super
blowing
Bowl
the
with
Super
Bill
Bowl
Cowher players and
is
coaches
turning the ball
and
over
system.
like
Say
Seattle
it again.
did. Blowing a Super Bowl is when you're Atlanta up 28-3.
Those are good points.
blowing
That's a good
Super
point.
Bowls.
Those are blowing Super
I
Bowls.
know.
Yeah.
I know that you did not just say that he won the Super Bowl with Cowher's people.
Yes, he did.
Oh, well, how come
Yes,
Cowher
he
won
did.
8-8 the last
Cowher's
year?
people won.
I guess that makes
sense, Smokey
That
Joe.
makes Tomlin a much better coach, doesn't it?
How long has Tomlin been the coach? 11 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too long.
You know how they talk about different coaches, how they have trees and
Yeah.
coach?
No,
how,
none.
How many of
None.
his assistants
None.
have none?
None.
0. That might be
None.
the biggest indictment
He's
of
not
all.
developing his coaches like
It's not-
you
not
see.
the-
Coach
None.
Cowher had one of the best.
Okay,
head coaching
now,
tree.
okay,
out
I'm
there.
going to blow that argument
He's
up.
even too
How you
old.
gonna blow that
Bill
argument up?
Belichick is great, right?
Who?
Have you seen his coaching tree?
Yeah.
Have they all failed? Every single
But at
one
least
of them.
they got
At
a
least
job.
they got hired. You're
Have
right.
they all
That's
failed?
a good
so
point.
what does
They
that
have
mean? That
failed.
means
They have-
absolutely nothing.
No, it means
They
Bill
have failed.
Belichick
They failed.
No, because of his
When you're
success.
getting $4 or $5 million a year as a head coach, that means a lot.
And everybody has failed. From Notre Dame,
Well,
Charlie Rice,
Patricia's
Romeo
only in his
Corral.
first
The
year.
guy at Detroit is failing now.
Well, it's
it's
his first
Bill
year.
Belichick.
His first year.
Give me somebody who had
Well,
success.
let's see.
Oh, I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying
So you
Patricia's.
can't go by a coaching tree. You can only go by the coaching record.
I agree with Mark.
So,
There you go. Hey, Smoking Jim.
well,
Yes,
I
sir.
put a hole in that argument, Mark.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
no, you
I
didn't.
did. The
No, you
coaching
didn't.
tree has failed.
No,
I can't wait
no,
to hear
no.
the caller.
At least
The
they got
caller's
hired.
asking me a question. The caller wants an intelligent answer. Go ahead, Big E.
Hate me.
How many
Go ahead.
ready? How many Super Bowls has Tomlin been to?
2.
Coach Tomlin's been to 2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls.
He's
Okay.
1-1.
All right, so he's batting 500. In baseball, that'd be pretty good right there. But,
But,
I mean,
but what
look at
about the
Belichick.
ones he
How
didn't
many-
get to?
Ready?
Well,
How many?
Well,
Super
hold
Bowls has
on
he
one
been to?
second. Well, they beat an Arizona team that's horrible. And number two,
Listen, you beat
let me
who's
finish.
there.
Let me finish my statement.
don't have to recap.
They
We
were
know who they
heavily favored to beat the Green Bay Packers, but Hines Ward got off the plane with his cowboy jacket and led the team to the strip club, and that's why they were
Smoking
flat.
Jim.
And I predicted
They ran
that they
into
would be
a Hall
flat.
of Fame quarterback named Aaron Rodgers, and he's a bad boy. And that's when he was at the top of the game.
Would you go to the strip club all week? Did we get a Super Bowl and don't have no
What
legs
about
game day?
You were with him?
Huh?
I might go to the strip club. We know Jim was. How you know they were there?
was
Jim,
there.
Jim was with
I'm a
Hines
reporter.
Ward. You
I'm
was
a
right there with him. You probably said,
reporter.
"Let's go to the strip club." Smoking
Thank
Jim.
you very much. I've been sitting here
What
thinking,
about
what am I
last
going to
year,
do after the show? Now I
Hey,
know.
Big E, go ahead, Big E.
right.
What else you got to say? We have one more call we have to get to.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to a really quick sort of final comment here. You know, you said you know, Big Ben's no Eli Manning, but you know they both have 2 Super Bowl wins, and you know Eli, you did beat the Patriots twice. Ben, not so much.
Was it?
Well,
was
Eli
it,
got a career 500 record, man. I tell you what.
I don't think it was so much Eli. I think it was that defensive line that he had
Well,
that had
Eli
Brady
played
shaking
good in
in
the
his
Super Bowl.
boots.
Yeah, you have to
That's
give-
what
played
it
good
was.
in the
It was
Super
the
Bowl.
defense.
Exactly right.
Yeah, he played good in the
He
No,
played
let's
okay in
not
the
forget
Super
the
Bowl.
star.
It was that
Let's not
defense.
forget
Did
the
you
star.
see that? That defense had Tom
Yeah.
Brady scared.
That's what wins championships. Steelers got a mediocre defense.
Well, they're paying Hayward and Tuitt like they're Strahan
One play a game,
and those
Tuitt?
guys. Listen.
Tuitt is built like Tarzan and plays like Jane.
I know. I heard you say it too many times.
Hey, Smoking Jim, one final question for you. What I got for you right here. You know, hey, Plexico Burris, the Steelers let him go, and look, he defeated the Patriots twice.
That's right.
And he shot himself in the foot. All right. There's a whole lot of stuff. I.E., on that
Show
note,
you,
man,
you can still be a champion there.
Hey, thanks.
All right.
appreciate the call, Big E.
Great call. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. I think we lost the calls on that. Again, number to call, 412-231-2288. A lot of good things we want to get into. One thing I did want to talk about. Jim, you saw the fight, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
I want to show the knockout. Can we please run those clips? Great fight, but Tyson Fury ended up on his back in the 12th round. Bam, vicious knockout. You see the count. It's from the side because the referee on his knees screaming, "Get up, Tyson, get up." And 9, 10,
up.
the fight is done. He's still
up.
on a knee.
He's up.
It's 10 seconds.
That's
He is
the
not
unofficial.
up. Listen. This is how knockouts are called. When the eyes roll back in your head, it's over.
Is that the same guy that did the Steeler game?
That's what I'm starting to wonder. But see, even these guys, you get up on 10, you're down, it's over. But this guy, they're walking back and forth. It was a great fight. I thought it was over. Wilder thought it was over. He's motioning to the crowd. And I don't know how he got up, but he did not get up in time. 10 seconds, he's down.
He was.
You have to be on your feet at 10.
Well,
He was not on his feet.
Well, he was staggering on his
Doesn't
feet.
matter.
That
You have
doesn't
to be
count.
up on your feet.
You can't go by the stopwatch. You got to do one. That's how referees count.
And listen, and I do have something later where he said he gave him a slow count because it was good for boxing. He wanted him to get up.
I'd like to see that. You got all that paperwork, but you don't have that. You forgot to bring that in.
We
huh?
got that. I'm about to run that, Smoker Jim. Unlike you, I do my research.
That's my fault.
Smoker, I don't just make up stuff like
For those of us
birthday
who missed the
parties.
fight, what round was that?
That was the 12th round.
12th round.
That was the 12th round. Fury also got knocked down in the 9th round. But he fought a good fight. I was very impressed with the length and the movement.
He won that
6'9",
going away.
260.
Won that going
You were
away.
listening to the Paulie Malignaggi. who hates Wilder. But it was a good fight. I look forward to the rematch, and Joshua has to get in there and start fighting some of these good
He got
fighters.
4 belts and an Olympic
Who
championship.
does he fight? He fought a 50-year-old Klitschko.
And he knocked him out. And,
No, he didn't knock him out. The referee stopped it.
same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
That fight Saturday night was the best thing that could ever happen to Joshua. These guys both have a draw on their record now. He can avoid them for a lot longer.
Wow.
He has been avoided both of
Are
them.
you serious?
He's been avoiding both of them, and he's been avoiding Ortiz. 4 guys. He wants to
Ortiz,
keep fighting.
you mean Ortiz before or after steroids?
Listen, he just fought the guy from Russia who's been on steroids.
If he want to fight,
Povetkin.
let him go back to Cuba. they got to fight for him if he ever go back there, bro.
All I want to know, I want to see Joshua face one of these tough contenders, not a Dillian White or Chisora or one of these guys. I want to see him in with a Tyson Fury or a Deontay Wilder or Luis Ortiz.
Well,
That's all I want.
Tell Wilder to leave Alabama and go across the pond and fight him in front of 120,000.
He was going to,
No,
but
what? Going to?
He was
You
going
know,
to.
He can't
He
get a
de-
passport.
he declined.
He can't get a passport. You know it.
He declined the $50 million offer.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's fact.
And Wilder just lost $75 million when
No,
when he fought to a draw.
How'd he
that
lose?
money went out the window.
No, it did
And
not.
you fight that gypsy again, brother.
All right. Hey, that's the number to call, 412-231-2288. A lot of good things happening. I want to give
Like what?
you deserve credit. Smoker Jim, you should smile on this. Penn Hills is going to the championship. Gateway folded once again. It wasn't even at Hansfield this time, Smoker Jim, and they folded to West Allegheny. Much respect. We had Tank on the show last year, Tank Smith.
Where does dad and uncle go to high school?
Doesn't matter. We're talking about the South. We're not talking about a losing Gateway team who they were so scared of Penn Hills, they lost to West Allegheny, so they didn't have to get beat by Penn Hills. In
The
the
referees
championship
wanted
game.
Pelco to get another championship.
Well,
They cheated Gateway.
Well, they didn't. Why didn't he win against Penn Hills? if that was
Because
the
Karen
case?
Donald brought his own security, $135 million worth of security.
Get out of here. All right. Much. You deserve credit to Penn Hills. I hope everybody's going to go out there and support them. They have a tough game against Manhigh Central. Jim, are you familiar with them?
Well,
Ranked number 4 in the state, 133 overall.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it. I'm also familiar that Penn Hills is an 8A school that's playing 5A ball.
That's incorrect.
And
Quit spreading false information.
being that they
Jim.
can't count money in Penn Hill School District, you
All-
think they can count enrollment?
They could count
Money coming up missing.
Somebody was counting money in their own
Penn
pockets.
Hill's never been a 5A school. It's always been 6A.
They lost a lot of kids.
Yeah,
They're
just
5A.
like the school district lost a lot of money they can't find.
Somebody stole that money.
Yeah. Just check out the mansions over there in Murraysville. That's where the money's at.
Okay. And part of that is a gateway district. Some parts of that is gateway district. You know that,
I'm
right?
on the take, brother. I don't turn down nothing but my collar.
Mike, what do you think about that? Penn Hills, your old high school, trying to get the championship?
My old high school is buried right now.
Well,
They have a new one. But
right.
I think it's nice that they get to play for a championship. You know, I mean, beating Gateway is no fun anymore.
everybody does it.
Yeah, it's not even rare.
Gateway had to move down to finally become, reputable again. They had to move down to 5A.
All we needed was a Jimmy Green.
They would like to move down to 3A, but TJ would kick their butt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey, real quick, again, number to call, 412-231-2288. I want to get back to Mark's book.
How did Ringgold do this year?
The coach stepped down.
Did he?
Yeah, he resigned after 1 year.
He scored 1 touchdown this year. He's on the roll.
It's different when you go from Talon to Aliquippa. You really got to coach some schools. It's different. It's different. Anyway, I do want to talk about the ABA.
Why?
As we see the ABA, the NBA now, it's a lot of free rolling play, the 3-ball. It kind of reminds me of the ABA.
No, that's where it got started.
Right.
When the ABA started, the NBA was boring, staid, just almost not watchable basketball.
Right.
And I think the ABA saved the NBA. because they brought a lot of pizzazz into it. You had the three-point shot. The NBA.
Was it similar to the
shot.
AFL being exciting in the
Yeah,
NFL?
actually,
3
very,
yards
very
in front?
similar. Very similar. You had bigger scores. The poor old Condors got 177 points scored on them one night.
Really?
177.
That's my kind of hoop.
I can't forget.
no
I can't remember
deal.
which team that was, but it was the
177.
Condors came out of the. It was the Pipers. They moved to Minnesota. Then they came back as the Pipers, and then they changed their name to the Condors for their last 2 years. And the Pipers themselves in their first year scored 150 points in one game.
Wow.
Now, who were some of the players on the Pipers?
On
team?
the championship team, they had Connie Hawkins, of course, who is in the Hall of Fame now. Another interesting thing about that first year, the Connie Hawkins made the Hall of Fame as a Piper. They played 3 different teams in the playoffs. Each of those 3 teams now has a guy in the Hall of Fame. They played the Indiana Pacers. Roger Brown's now in the Hall of Fame. They played the Minnesota Muskies. Mel Daniels is now in the Hall of Fame. And then they played the New Orleans Buccaneers in the championship. Larry Brown played on
Larry
that team.
Brown.
Doug Moe played on that
Okay.
team. So there
Okay.
was big names in that first
Legendary
year.
coaches.
Yeah. So, but their starting 5, it was Connie Hawkins, Tom Washington. They called him Trooper Washington.
He passed away.
He passed away coaching the Pittsburgh Explosion, right? You had Charlie Williams. He was, I guess you'd say, the point guard.
Okay.
They didn't really call him point guards and shooting guards at the time, but he would be a point guard today.
Okay.
Took a lot of shots. Sometimes the coaches had to reel him and Chico Vaughn, the other guard, in to get the ball to Connie. Right? It happened a lot. They had a back. So that was Charlie Williams, Chico Vaughn as the guards, Tom Washington, Connie Hawkins, and then Art Heyman. This is a guy they got in a trade. The Pipers started out the season stumbling along at 11-12. They traded for Art Heyman, and they went on an immediate 15-game winning streak. Wow! So you could, if you looked at sports history and trades, it's one of the greatest trades in the history of trades. Wow! And just that trade they made for Art Heyman, they won 15 in a row. Then they won 12 in a row. Not right, it was a few more games. But after they got Heyman, it made all the difference in the world because he was a strong guy out of Duke. He's also considered to be one of the all-time flakes in professional basketball.
Wow.
Not just in the ABA, but the NBA. Yeah.
Wow.
But he was a forward that could drive, but he was also a really good passer. So he was able to get the ball back to Charlie and Chico, get it to Connie. It just made all the difference in the world. And the guy they traded was a guy named Barry Leibowitz for Heyman. Barry Leibowitz was one of the best passers. He came out of New York. Jewish dude, but boy, he could pass. He played
that New York basketball.
Yeah,
man,
New York
it's been
basketball.
Great for years.
New York basketball. They had Art Heyman, they had Connie, Cal Graham, who now lives here in the Pittsburgh area in Sewickley.
yeah?
He's from New York. He came out of New York basketball, played up at Gannon. They had some of their backups, Jim Jarvis, Steve Vasendak. Steve Vasendak, very interesting story about him. He went to Duke University, played for the Pipers. He went on to, he worked for Converse after he left professional basketball, but then Duke hired him as the assistant AD in 1980. Wow. They said, find us a coach. Well, guess who he found?
Coach K.
Coach K.
Mike.
Any
Mike.
Chinese players on that team?
No, they were looking, but they couldn't find one.
Wow. Hall of Fame Mike. Hey.
And there's connections. I mentioned Ray Goss, the broadcaster for Duquesne. Because of him, I met Joyce Sharman, who's the widow of Bill Sharman. Bill Sharman coached the LA Lakers in 1972 when they won 33 games in a row.
Wow.
That's the
okay.
greatest
That's
winning streak in the history
Right.
of
That
Wilt
professional
Chamberlain?
the one
sports.
that
Yeah,
LeBron
Wilt
and them
Chamberlain
almost
was on the
broke.
team that year.
LeBron and those Heat teams almost got that record.
33
LeBron?
games in a row. Yep.
They can't.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't.
LeBron almost got that.
Anyway, let's jump to the phone lines right now.
All right.
Got the phone lines lit up. Caller, say your name and where you're calling from.
Gentlemen, it's Kelly Russell.
Hey,
Kelly!
Where you from?
I should say. Hey, I wanted to. I had happened to call in right when y'all went back to the ABA talk. So to Mark, I believe the guest his name
Yeah,
is.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
when you mentioned the 3-point shot, did you also talk about the incorporation of the dunk contest into the NBA?
Oh, exactly. That's a good point. Very good point. That happened in the very last ABA All-Star game. That would have been 1976. Julius Erving made that dunk from the parking lot, took off from the parking lot, dunked it. Very good point. I'm glad you said that because that was part of a whole bringing some flash and pizzazz into the game.
No, it was David. Was it Dave? He was going against David Thompson in that one.
No,
right?
David Thompson wasn't born then.
Who was he going against? Julius Erving when he did that. It was somebody.
It was a different Thompson.
Different
I can't
Thompson,
remember
not
his
David
name.
Thompson.
You're right. It was
a
you're
different
right.
Thompson, yeah. Little guy, shorter guy.
I should know those names there. But
Shorter
the
guy.
caller
Shut
brings
up,
up
Jill.
a good point, great point. They describe the ABA as jazz compared to the NBA as a boring orchestra.
Oh, really?
Back at the time, yeah. And the one thing that was really different about the ABA is they brought in speedy, fast guards
Okay.
who could shoot.
Red, white, and blue balls.
In the red, white, and blue ball, that was a genius.
Hey, Kelly, did you bring up the ABA so we wouldn't bring up Michigan?
Oh, you can, Luther will test this. You can talk Michigan all you want to me. It makes no difference. I have no allegiance to the University of Michigan. As far as I'm concerned, I want my money back.
Another proud Michigan alum.
But let me say this before I go talk about the University of Michigan real quick, since you brought that up, Smoking. In regards to the dunk contest, now Luther knows this. My birthday would always fall around All-Star Weekend, and when we used to go celebrate, I'd have everybody over my house. We would always watch the dunk contest, the three-point shootout, and then go out from there. Now, I don't know if and1 is around, but one thing I wish the NBA would do to kind of spice up the dunk contest again is get some of the and1 guys to compete against the NBA guys. And 3 from the NBA, 3 from and1 or whatever it's called now, and have a dunk off between the 2 winners and go from there. 2 dunks per person per round, so it doesn't take forever when all these guys start missing their dunks from the NBA.
Yeah, that would spice it up.
Man, I don't know if they want to go down that hole because some of those and1 guys, they can do some things that NBA guys aren't doing right now. So,
Exactly,
but that would change it up.
That would change it. But not only that, here's one other thing, Lou. You got to remember the fragile ego of some of those NBA guys.
Right, they're not going to want an ABA, one of those and1 guys to get in there and get some of their shine. So
I know LeBron never got into one of them contests.
Leave the king alone.
No, yeah, you talking about fragile egos. I thought you mentioned fragile egos.
Go ahead. Better chill with that. LeBron talk. When they get that title in the next couple of years, I want to hear you say that.
Hey, Kel, you just inspired me. I may induct a slam dunker into the City League Hall of Fame next year.
Hey, I need to induct Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin. One letter, 1A don't get you in.
I'm done. All right.
1A don't get you in.
You don't have Curtis Martin in. That don't count.
Pierre Carr and Curtis Martin, they ain't getting in.
What?
Pierre Carr is from Clairton, and everybody know I don't like Clairton, so that's where his family's from.
That's why you can't go over to Clairton.
Hall of Fame.
And that's why they hate Smoking Joe McClaren.
Stu Johnson.
Hey, at least I'm honest, Kelly.
Hey, you know something? I can respect the man that's honest.
Thank
you. Stay away from us whenever we're out and about, because, I don't want anything to happen to me or Lou.
Hey, I got a couple Clarion guys coming for the February show, Smoking Joe, so you better
They won't
ready.
be able to find this place.
You better be ready. Hey, Kelly, real quick, I wanted to talk. There's Kevin Durant came out with something that said nobody can play with LeBron because they're scared of the toxic media and all his fanboys. Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that was an article. So, I mean, what do you think? You think LeBron is going to get somebody to come to the Lakers next year? Or you think people will be scared off?
I have no idea. There was all those rumors of Kawhi, and that didn't work out. And
Jimmy Butler?
Dude from Oklahoma City. I can't think of his
Paul
name.
George.
Paul George. Paul George was supposed to come. That didn't work out. I don't know. The funny thing is, I got to say, the One Credits host, the local sports guy, when he would talk about the NBA, the whole LeBron-Kyrie situation, he always blamed it more on LeBron more so than Kyrie. So I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to that. I'm like, if I'm a person, how could you not want to play with LeBron?
Yeah, I always.
Because he's a walking triple-double just about when he's on the court.
Yeah, I think some people, Kyrie, in my opinion, and he said it, he wanted his own team, and now he has his own
Right.
team with a lot of pressure. Last year he got hurt. This year he's struggling. So it's not always cracked up.
Hey, Kelly, would you call LeBron the greatest 46-minute man
Oh,
in
here you
NBA
go with this
history?
mess
Them
again.
last 2 minutes, he don't like that
He-
shot.
he- listen.
he passed that ball away the last
Listen,
2
he has
minutes.
more game-winning shots than Kobe, and his percentage is higher than Jordan's.
I just seen him pass him one ball away. with that
Listen, did
last.
Jordan not
Too
pass it to
arrogant
Paxson?
for me.
Did Jordan pass the ball to Paxson?
Hey, Kelly, can I ask you one question? Can you give you deserve credit to Robert Foster?
He should have
I
gone.
really didn't. I heard he's been playing for Buffalo, but I didn't
He
hear what he
should've-
did.
Listen.
He is his fantasy. Everybody's getting him on the fantasy football team this week because he can go deep. He's killing
Listen,
it.
Well, considering
I'm-
Buffalo
Three
got rid of
national
two receivers,
championships.
I'm happy that he did it. I still say, as when he was in high school, he went down to Alabama. I thought that was a bad move.
Three
for him.
national championships is a
Did he
bad
get
move.
drafted? Jim?
Huh?
Did he get drafted?
His next contract, he's getting ready to see $100 million.
Listen, you don't make up that money.
He got Jim-
If he would have gone to Pitt, he would have came out and been a draft choice.
And
maybe
been
first,
playing
second,
in
or
front of
third.
10,000 people. He got 3 national Ain't we about winning? 3 national
When
championships.
you're not drafted, is Mark.
He
would
is
you agree? When
Andre
you're not drafted,
Reed,
it
and
makes
they
you-
got
it makes
Jim
you run a
Kelly
little
at
harder.
quarterback.
I would say
You get,
so,
in-
yeah.
you
I'd
get
have to-
injured, they'll cut you quick.
I might
Where?
have to agree with Luther on this one.
You
Thank you,
agree
Mark.
with Luther?
Listen, you got if you don't get
That's because he look
drafted,
like a Muslim. All right,
I got a
Malcolm.
beanie
All
like
right,
you.
Malcolm X.
I got a beanie like you, Smoking Jill.
I don't got the beard, though.
Take that hat off. You got a black beanie on.
It's for my religious beliefs. I'm a 7-day Adventist.
Kel. So
I don't even know what question I'm supposed to answer right now. I'm so confused.
I kind of forgot what we had asked you anyway. Thoughts
Robert
on the?
LeBron and KD.
Oh,
And,
right.
I can't see why anybody wouldn't want to play with LeBron. I'll just put it like that because I look at him as he's the type of person that's going to set you up.
Right.
If you're a guard, you might get a little upset with it. Dude, it's called a turn. I'm sorry, I'm driving in this Obi-Wan jabroni in front of me, couldn't put on a turn signal.
Wow.
Don't
Road raging.
don't get no road rage, Kelly, man. It's all right, man.
We seen you. We
don't wanna-
seen your rage, man.
We don't hear any road rage on live TV, Kelly. It's all right, man.
Oh, I could have really just had one a second ago. But anyway, but to go back, answer the question, if you're a player, how could you not want to play with LeBron?
Agree.
Whether or not you consider he's the greatest player right now or one of the top greatest players right now, how could you not want to play with a player with his ability?
I'd rather play with Curry.
I was just about to
Everybody
say that out
everybody
my
wants
mouth.
to be the man.
Yes.
You talk. Curry's getting some injuries all of a sudden now.
And
He's back.
championship rings.
The team is stacked. The team is stacked. When you go,
Those rings.
Oh, there you go.
when Draymond Green is in the parking lot crying, begging KD to come play with you, so you can have a chance against LeBron.
And then they fight.
And now he's fighting. He's calling him other words. He's not begging. He's calling him another word.
Just saying who I'd rather play with. Now all of a sudden he
See, I'm going to have to go to the Lakers.
guy
too.
come from Lil Davidson College. Now all of a sudden
Give me my
I've
gold
always,
shirt.
hey, remember when he came
Shaq.
out, I was always a fan of Stephon
you're a fan
Curry.
of every little
I was.
guard.
Of course, you know
Any
it.
little tiny guard.
I love the
You're
tag.
a fan.
The short players, we all got to stick
Muggsy
together.
Bogues.
All those guys.
You still got Muggsy Bogues as
Oh,
poster.
Muggsy Bogues is a legend.
I love him. I love him.
Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah,
Detroit
you know
Pistons,
Isaiah
that's
Thomas is
Thomas.
still my all-time favorite.
And he bought me dinner. Next time he come, Lou, I'm
I got beef. You know that's my favorite player of all time.
I tried to call you. You didn't pick
You
up
did
the
not
phone.
call me Smoker Jim, but I'm his good buddy. That's cool. My favorite player of all time comes in town. You have lunch with him and send me a picture afterwards. Guess who I had lunch with? You owe me for that, Smoker Jim.
I do owe you.
Hey Kelly, real quick, any thoughts on the Steelers?
Well, remember what I said at the beginning of the year, where I didn't think they would make the playoffs. I thought Baltimore would win the division. I thought Tomlin would get fired.
You're
There's a
wrong.
chance
Tomlin's not going to get fired.
You're wrong on
Tomlin's
all
not
of them,
getting
aren't you?
fired.
Hey,
Not
Kelly,
necessarily.
Kelly, you're
Tomlin
wrong on
away.
everything
Tomlin
so
won't get
far.
fired, but hey,
There-
this game in Oakland is no guarantee they
It's
win.
no guarantee.
This last quarter of the season for them, on paper, I see at least 2 losses.
Yes,
And
sir.
they got to show me something in Oakland.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can
And,
see
and guess what? They could still lose to the Bengals in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Bengals have some major injuries.
I
That
wouldn't
team
be
is
shocked
done.
if they lose to Oakland and then beat New England.
Wow.
Would not be shocked.
You never
Hey,
know.
the fact that you
It
ain't
all
had
depends
Tommy
on your Hall of Fame
possible.
quarterback. We don't turn the ball over. We have a chance against every one of these teams.
And he is a Hall of Fame
Steelers aren't
quarterback.
He is. We need him to
You
play
never know if
like
they're
Yeah,
gonna
you're
win.
right.
the Hall of
But
Fame
Luke-
Ben. Yes.
Let me say this because I know time is pressed. As much as I've heard sports talk hosts talk about they need to be at home, they need to be at home for the playoffs. Maybe they don't need to be at home because right now at home, what are they, 3-3? So maybe they can rebound and finish strong. Maybe they need to go on the road with the exception of playing San Diego back here at home again. Because last I checked, when Tomlin actually won some playoff games, one of them was at home, one was on the road.
Now, when Coach Tomlin won that playoff game, did he put a linebacker on the best wide receiver for 13 out of his 15 catches? I wonder.
I sure hope not. Although that kind of helped me because Keenan Allen, I have him in my fantasy league.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, the biggest hit though, I know your fantasy helped when Sean Davis knocked out number 23 and
Hey.
Keenan caught that pass. What a shot though! That was
Does-
a good hit. That was a good hit.
Does he? I just got a question. Does Sean Davis play with his eyes closed?
Sometimes.
Man,
But
because
that was a good hit.
Hayden had that interception,
Yeah.
and he ran into him like his name was DeCastro running in the bouncy.
Remember that?
I'm like, are they teaching these guys
That's
to
back when
close their eyes
DeCastro.
and
That's
run into
back
their
when
own players?
DeCastro wanted to play center.
Man, he ran straight into that
Football in
knee,
general,
just
at times,
like
somebody can make a play if somebody else wants to go for the hit.
right. He had the interception. He ran right into him, and it popped right into Allen's hands.
Yeah, that was great. I love that hit.
Hey, well, Carol, once again, we only got a few minutes left. I want to thank you for the call, man. And
Always a pleasure. Hey, good luck, Penn Hills and Aliquippa this weekend.
yes, you going out there, right?
No, I gotta work.
All right, all right, all right, Carol. Be safe
right,
out
fellas,
there.
always a
Watch the
pleasure.
road rage.
Take it easy, Kelly.
I'll do my best. No promises.
All right, real quick, we only have 3 minutes left. I want to get Princess to say a couple words again. Where can people find you, or you have social media?
Instagram, Facebook.
But Instagram, what? Princess? I know you got some kind of variation on that.
Oh, geez, it's. Can't say that.
Well,
Okay,
we'll
ooh.
put it on the 26th.
Just give it to
all
us.
the
That's
credit.
all right.
Right, well, you can find me on Facebook. It's
Okay.
Nokihomis, and then
wow.
Bell, Bell.
Okay.
Nokomis is Native American. It
Okay.
means daughter of the moon.
Daughter of the
So-
moon. Okay.
She's a warrior.
All right. All right. I like that. I like that. And Mark, now when could we expect the book out? I mean,
Probably summertime.
summertime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which summer of 2020?
2023.
All right.
No, I'm
Hey,
kidding. Next summer.
Hey, real quick, I want to thank everybody for the calls. Princess, Mark, Mike, Smoker Jim, I'm Luther. Thanks for the calls. Check us out on our website, SCSportsWorld.com. Peace.
Good show, guys.